Hi everyone. This is what I was trying to tell everyone about how not all celebrities are knowingly guilty. Have a listen to this. Oh, sorry. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you, bro, being a bodyguard for certain people, the talent will show up to a place for a video shoot. Everything is already laid out. The talent will have no idea that they're in a ritual. Sometimes they change the flooring digitally. When they showed up, they wasn't standing on a pentagram, but when the video come out, they are. I've seen that happen. And then you got some people, when you show up to the video set, you see a weird lady there, and they offering you help. And I seen an artist before say, listen, y'all offering me this help, but I'm not gonna give up anything for y'all to help. And they said, well, good luck to you, young man. And his album never even came out after that. I'm gonna tell you, bro, being a bodyguard for certain.
Okay, remember that weird lady? I'm going to show you somebody. How many of you recognize her? You recognize Marina Abramovic? There's a weird lady on set. Remember? She was with the PIZZA GATE stuff, and I told you she does like art performances. Here it is here. I told you, if you allow them to show you its ugliness, it will, and she did. This would be one of those people. Nicki Minaj, Lady Gaga, all friends with her. Unfortunately, this is something, look at her. They really fucked her up, man. That's a really hard performance to watch, and yeah. So I understand why they think most of humanity is scum. But when he said there's some weird lady on set, this is exactly who I thought of. So I just wanted to show you this. Okay? There's some pictures with John Podesta, with spirit cooking and all that. She's involved with that. Okay? Yeah. Like you cut your middle finger and stuff like that in part of a ritual. So, anyway, I just wanted to show you that. I might add this to the Shia LaBeouf video, I don't know. Anyway, take care everyone. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Good morning, everyone. Today is April 7th, 2026 at 6:45 a.m. I hope you're well. Welcome back. Like I said in my last video, I was going to discuss Shia LaBeouf. Sorry if I'm not saying his name right. I'm really trying my best to. Okay. I had to take a little bit in a couple of days to have some rest. The sun was popping off again, so it made me extraordinarily tired. But I also had to prepare myself because this does cause me some mental and emotional pain for this man, okay? Now, and over the years, I've had to watch people say horrible things, and intuitively, somehow, I knew that there's something way deeper going on here, and especially with the whole Epstein files, and it kind of reminds me about a lot of young child actors and like what was going on with Justin Bieber and Sean Combs, P. Diddy, whatever. So let me start off by saying I remember when this happened. If you can see this, which you should be able to, Shia LaBeouf walked down the red carpet. I had to figure out when this was because how I remembered it was years ago, and it was back in 2014. And back then, of course, I didn't have the information acquired that I have today, especially about, the secret societies, the Illuminati, and what goes on in Hollywood, right? But when I saw this, I mean, if I don't know like how many people did. I mean, I was a little old to be watching the Disney Channel at that time, but I really liked it because it was more lighthearted for me. Remember, I missed out on my childhood, so like, but I remember watching Even Stevens, and I even liked That So Raven, and I really liked Orlando Brown. He was so funny, and Shia LaBeouf is really funny. He was always this happy-go-lucky fella. He always seemed, both of them, kind-hearted, generous, nice fellas. You know, they like to make people laugh because they probably know how it feels to be in pain, for one thing. And a lot of people are like that. That's common. You know, a lot of the most depressed people in the world, like Robin Williams, love to make people laugh because he knew what it was like to be in pain. Okay? I'm sorry I'm digressing all over the place, but I remember this young man, and he really loved acting. You could tell when you watched Transformers, he loved acting and he was so good at it. He was the kind of actor that got you to feel things. And that's not always common, you know? It's special, it's rare. This young man has star quality. Like I told you, they prey on people that have strong spiritual energy. And this guy was all heart. Okay? Shia. So when I saw this, I was like, what's going on with him? Why doesn't he want to be famous anymore? He seemed like he loved acting, like he just loved being an artist, an entertainer. I thought this was so strange, like a switch in behavior. What's going on? And then I'm going to switch over to another page here. And then, oh, I almost hit the wrong button. Share this tab instead. This right here, look at him. And I know, I read about it. People think, oh, it was about plagiarism, criticisms over his career. This guy, this young man, sat there in a New York exhibit. He claimed it to be an art exhibit. He cried with this bag on his head and apologized to everybody profusely. But listen, this was, the energy was agonizing. This was real pain. This wasn't art. This wasn't a pretend thing. You can see it in him. Yes, he's an actor, but this was way more. And you know what? I might be just a crazy person. I might be, but intuitively, I don't feel like I'm wrong. Okay? So I don't want to be like making accusations or saying things, but I'm just going to show you how I've come to this conclusion, okay? I'm not trying to hurt him. I'm not trying to hurt anybody, okay? I really, really, really just want to help. That's why I'm saying this stuff, okay? So listen, I felt pain all throughout my body. I started crying with this guy. I couldn't understand, why are you so much in pain? What could you be sorry for? That you cry for hours on end. This isn't fake. Something was coming from inside of him that he needed to express in some way. And even today, he's got a drinking problem. Why do people think that is? People drink to cover pain. Something happened to this man. I don't know if it happened to him when he was young, but let me just show you something. So, look at this. I can't even believe that people went in there and recorded him and did stuff to him. It was kind of similar to what Marina, what's her name, did. I'll look that up. I'll show you about that. But that is just such a messed up thing. The woman shouldn't have done it, because when you ask for humanity to show you its ugliness, it fucking will. Oh shit, we're not there. Hang on, here we go. Can you see? Yeah. Okay, so now we're at a YouTube video, okay? Watch this. I'm just going to mute it. There's no sound in it anyway. He doesn't say anything. It's completely silent. Well, maybe I'll just turn the sound on then. What's my sound at? Okay, let me see. All right, watch this. Good God. It's an alcohol bottle in his hand. And look, they're out there like it's a party. Look, somebody's dressed as Bumblebee. This makes me sick. Hold on a second. I gotta switch this. Honestly, it disturbs me. That was disturbing. Okay? This is not an art performance. He's still in a world of hurt today. So when I looked him up today, hold on, I gotta go back to the top of the page. So when I looked him up in 2026 today, okay, he was just arrested like twice in February, I think. There was a fight in New Orleans, February 26th, okay? Look, TMZ is still following him around, torturing this guy, won't leave him alone. You know why? Because it's good for TV and people like to watch it. People talked about this guy so badly, it honestly disturbs me and bothers me all the time. Sometimes I have flashbacks of this, like of him crying like that. But I couldn't find footage. I looked. Even though, listen, it's not a nice thing to see. The guy's crying his heart and soul out. All right? He's fighting with his girlfriend here. And then he doesn't have very good listen, whatever happened to him, whether it was young, okay, it's basically messed him up for his whole life. But we're going to get some results. But there's this part. Shia LaBeouf breaks his silence. Look, LaBeouf admitted he felt physically threatened when touched by men. Why would he get so angry? Why is he so mad? Something happened to this fella that he never got justice for. It's a huge sign. Drinking from pain, not able to talk about it. Listen, you know what I think and what I feel? We're going to go back to look at him like this. Because I need you guys to understand that he's so young here. And he was probably in his early 20s when, let's just call it, these Freemasons probably tried to initiate him. And when they told him about how stuff really worked, he was like, what the F? Hell no. And they said, well, if you're going to tell and you don't want to take part, you're not going to be famous anymore. Or they could have threatened his career and his life. Do you understand? They tell them really messed up things. And you know how I know? Because it didn't hit me until I watched Altian Child's Freemasonry expose that I've posted here on my channel, the first 45 minutes, and there's a link because it's 5 hours long, okay? But it's worth every moment. Even though the stuff about Jesus, all right, so we didn't get far enough with the Claustrum's oil and stuff like that, I don't think he withheld it on purpose. I think that his experience with what happened to him in that car, and if you watch that documentary, you'll understand that it really affected him. And it was a good thing either way. But anyway, listen, I was watching that, and Altian Child says that they tell you that you won't be famous anymore. And you know what flashed into my head? Shia, with that bag on his head. Look, I'm not famous anymore. I feel like this was an act of rebellion. Oh, I'm not going to be famous anymore? Fine, then I won't. And that's kind of how that fella is. He's kind of rebellious, and I think I can understand why. That just do it thing was horrible to watch, but I heard him. I heard him. There was a deeper message there. Just not everybody heard it, but I did. I feel so bad for this guy. No one deserves that, and it's fucked up his life. And of course he denies he has a drinking problem because he can't tell. Because once he starts talking about some things, and he'll have to talk about the rest, and he can't because they probably told him that they will take his ass out. of the game completely. You know what I'm saying? They do this. And that's why I posted that link on my Telegram. I think I might have posted my post because it wasn't to prove anything other than the fact that what people are calling crazy conspiracy theorists saying that these Freemasons and these secret societies, they kill people all the time. That's why I posted it. So we're not so crazy after all, are we? And I don't think Shia is crazy. I think this man has a lot of pain and it's tearing him apart. And it has been for some time. See, I told you, not all of these celebrities know what they're getting into. And then when they're in it, they figure out, oh my God, it's too late. What are they supposed to do? And I know you'll think, oh, well, would you want to die? Nobody actually wants to die. So you can't blame him for keeping quiet if they said, if you tell, we'll make you not famous anymore, but we'll kill you. There's been so many incidences. Martin Lawrence was running down the street years ago, waving a gun. They're trying to kill me, he's yelling. Why do you think? He's not drunk and on drugs. They find this stuff out and it fucks them up. What do you think happened to Orlando Brown? Do you not know who that fella is? Hold on. And they were both child actors on the Disney Channel. I just told you I used to watch them. You know? When That's So Raven used to get the vision, I used to laugh so hard at her silly face. She's like, you know what I mean? That was so funny to me. Those people brought me joy and laughter when I was young. So to find out that this stuff's happening to them, fuck no. Yes, I will defend you and try to help in any way I fucking can. Hold on. Okay, so I've just realized something that's messed me up. I don't even have an opinion about it yet. But do you remember him? And at one point, this guy was going around talking about the Illuminati, talking blah, 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 acting like he was absolutely out of his mind. But now, because I wanted to see if there was a video of him talking about that and how distressed he was, look at this. This is the craziest thing. I can't. Orlando Brown says the Illuminati is his family, says get with the New World Order or else. What? If you go down here, it says, I told everybody, look, the first comment, I told everybody he's controlled opposition. All celebrities who expose Hollywood are being told to do so and allowed to do so. But they know where the line is and they ain't crossing the line. Fuck them. I'm going to put a like to that. Fuck all them. I know Salem. Salem says, fuck yeah. Listen to what he says. Because I just watched a little bit of it. Salem, it's okay, buddy. I'm all right. I'm just a little bit of, I can't even talk. Hold on. Okay, I don't care about that. Why is this so long? This song. Okay, here we go. What? You're a Christian? That was the most fucked up thing I have seen in a long time. If you couldn't hear, I'm definitely going to boost the audio as much as possible because I've turned everything up as high as possible. That is so messed up. I don't even know what to say. Uh, well, maybe those two are different. I did not expect that. I just remembered that wow. See, I know it's not what most people think it is. A lot of the stuff that people say is going on isn't. And it almost is like boogeyman stories to make it seem bigger and scarier than it is, almost in a way to like deter people from like opposing it in a sense. So he's right in a way, but it's still not accurate. They do harm people. Absolutely. And I mean, even just the sex cult stuff is bad enough. And they think, oh, energy cultivation, this and that. No, 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 no. I don't think that, I know that Aaron Carter wasn't okay with it. I don't think any of them were actually okay with being touched as kids. So that is quite the thing I did not expect. Because I didn't look this up previously. I'm doing it as I'm going, right? Even though I knew about the Shia LaBeouf stuff. And I knew that there'd be pictures of him, his incident, and yeah. But anyway, okay. They've been saying nothing can stop what's coming. And I think this is what it means, is that everything has been controlled. And I'm talking about everything, especially with the whole disclosure, UFO thing, all of it. It is all so highly controlled. Damn, that's wild. So, I don't know what to say about him, but I still don't change my mind or my feelings about Shia. I didn't handle figuring all this stuff out very well. I don't think they do either. And I feel like that people should take into consideration when you're condemning all of the celebrities that I would put my money on it that it's not all of them, and that it's true that some of them are afraid. I think after some time, maybe it just breaks you, you know, and you just can't rebel anymore. You give up. It's not to look down on anybody who does. I don't blame them, but because I told you guys before, it sucks being a celebrity. It really does. Like, I'm not one, but I can empathize with them. You know, I'm not doing this to gain any kind of celebrity attention. I genuinely only hope. Remember when I talked about Gene Simmons? I hope Gene remembers that night that he was treated by me as Gene just the man, not Gene the rock star. I hope he has that memory and that it's helped him, because a lot of people don't treat them like people. Okay? That's what it's about. I never told you the story about Josh Hartnett and Scarlett Johansson at the Del Taco. We didn't get there yet. But I really hope that those two actors remember that I stood up for them that day when they were being unbelievably harassed and hounded by tons of people when they were realized who they were as actors. It was one of the most uncomfortable situations I have ever lived through. It gave me a panic attack. I didn't act too irate. I scolded everybody like their mom. What do you think this is, the red carpet? They're here at Del Taco. They just want some food. Do they look like they want their pictures taken? Get the fuck out of here. I didn't curse and swear and go on back then because I was in this restaurant. And I apologized to everybody, and she apologized to me. Scarlett Johansson turned around over her shoulder, looked at me, and said, "I'm sorry." Mouthed it to me. I'll tell you that story another fucking time because it still upsets me that that happened. It's not about me. It's about how awful that energy felt to have that happen. You don't know what it's like. It's not that people think that, it's not like the people that were acting all crazy. Oh my God, Scarlett Johansson, taking pictures, almost touching their damn faces with their fucking phones. It was wild as shit. And it erupted out of nowhere. And it's that feeling of what if, what can happen. Not that you think people are terrible, but it's the energy of it. It was awful. So it sucks being a celebrity. And I wouldn't want to, you know? That's why all I wanted to do was be on the Power Rangers or a live action Final Fantasy. I just wanted to complete a part of my dream because I knew that I couldn't be a superhero in real life. But hey, look at me go. I'm a superhero in a whole other way. And that's just fine with me. I don't care if anybody else sees me this way. I see me this way. It's not a hero complex. It's like things that I've triumphed over that allowed me to be able to see things this way and have such a deep compassion and empathy for others. And I just wonder, what happened to him? What happened to Shia LaBeouf? What happened? Because something definitely did. This fella's suffering terribly. And I wonder if it's because he can't even talk to anybody about it. Because if he does, he may be horribly humiliated. If he was sexually assaulted, either as a young child or as a young man, it doesn't matter. If some men took advantage of him sexually, they get these things on camera sometimes, and then they'll be like, we're going to release it. They threaten them. It's horrible. I've heard horrible things. So I wonder, what happened to him? If he gets so mad just being touched by men, that's a huge indication something happened to him. I'm not trying to shame him, but it'd be a horrible, awful tragedy to lose this young man, and he never, ever is acknowledged as to why he went like this. Because he's not stupid. He's a very, very intelligent, deep feeling, deep thinking fella. And he's not crazy. It's really terribly sad. He is not crazy. He's still expressing and acting out pain, and I know it has to be up to him. They're ordering him to rehab. It doesn't matter how many times you put him in rehab. You have to deal with the pain that's causing these addictive, obsessive behaviors with the constant drinking and whatever else he's doing to cover the pain up. Yeah. So, I just hope and pray that if there is something, that he is able to some way tell someone to be able to feel better, at least a little bit about it. Because this haunts me. And I know they tell people all the time, oh, you're going to tell? You're not famous anymore. Then we'll make sure you're not famous anymore. And they do. They threaten their lives and their families' lives. They'll kill your loved ones. And then they'll be like, there, are you going to behave now? And what the fuck are they supposed to do? Imagine how horrifying that is. Like you start dating someone, you fall in love, and then they kill your new girlfriend, and you know they did. Can't prove it because it's really messed up how they do these things. Tila Tequila went wild and crazy for a reason. She was with that Johnson and Johnson heiress. They weren't having that. So they most likely took that young lady out. Not Tila, the one that was the heiress. Yeah. I know she had a lot of problems, but there's probably a fucking reason for that too. Okay? Yeah. It breaks my heart to see Tila Tequila like that. Something happened to that girl, and it's not good. And no, it's not funny in any way that they quote unquote lose their minds. That happens for a fucking reason. All this shit they go through that we don't know. So, I just wanted to share all my thoughts and feelings on that. And I pray every day for this. Well, not every day for this fella, but honestly for all people that are suffering this way. Because even me, this fucks everybody up when you find this shit out. It really does. And I just hope we can all collectively heal from it somehow. Because, man, what a bunch of bullshit this is. I'm tired of it. World is a stage bullshit. Fuck off. Like, this time and this age is absolutely torturous for a lot of us. And I'm fairly sure the Kali Yuga is just supposed to be like that. But I hope you can appreciate my thoughts and feelings here. And like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm not trying to start any rumors. Like I said, there's a fucking reason why this guy gets so angry just by men touching him and he loses his shit. There's a reason for that. And I'm not trying to shame him. If I'm wrong, I'm so deeply sorry because this guy clearly has a lot going on already. And I'm really not trying to hurt him here. I'd love to be able to help him. If that's what's really going on, if they did something to him, whether he was a child or a young man, it doesn't matter. Even when he was in his 20s, I don't care. But all of these people are walking around harboring that inside of them. You got to remember that. And maybe I'm wrong about Orlando Brown, but I thought that fella had seen some shit and heard some shit, and that's why he was like that. But again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, but I honestly didn't like most actors, and that's for the reason that they can put on any face that they want to show you. And that kind of freaks me out, you know what I mean? And Orlando Brown, I guess, was the best example I could show you of that. So thank you very much for being here with me today. This concludes my little video here. Like I said, I would talk about it. Talked about these types of things in my lives several times, but I never really made videos about it directly, so I figured that, since it still haunts me in this way, maybe if I talk about it, that it'll help. It'll make it better. Maybe it's a sign from the divine that I should say something because it just doesn't leave, So there, now I've explained it. And I really hope he's okay. I really do. Because he brought me a lot of childhood laughs. I love Transformers. It really hits me in the emotions. It does. These are still human beings. They're not reptilian monsters. They're humans. And with that, I thank you very much for being here. Thank you for all your support. And if you can, just say a little prayer for Shia because he really needs it. Take care, everybody. Have a good day. See you next time.